Hello there, let me ask you a question. Should Shadow the Hedgehog get his Doom powers back? What we need exactly is to understand both the gameplay and the lore of Shadow, and understand where he is in the story, and if the event of Shadow Generations can lead to him getting his Doom powers back. But first, we have to start with the story of Shadow Generation on whether it should come back lore-wise. One of the coolest things about Shadow the Hedgehog's lore is that they have this thing called the Black Arms Hive Mind. The Black Arms Hive Mind matters because Shadow cannot see into it. We do not know if you need a connection to the Black Arms Hive Mind in order to have a connection to Black Doom, but Shadow the Hedgehog cannot see in or look into the Black Arms Hive Mind. But Black Doom can send singles to Shadow, and this will be very important for later. But for now, we need to talk about the actual Doom powers themselves. In the story of Shadow Generations, the most important part of the Doom powers is that they are forced biomutations that are created by Black Doom in order to make his body more habitable for Black Doom's abilities, Black Doom's power. But the reason why Black Doom actually allows Shadow to get these actual mutations that could result in his actual death is because he believes manipulating Shadow using the Hive Mind is going to make him more likely to join Black Doom's cause, Black Doom's side, and Black Doom's pretty much world conquest of the Earth and all of space and time at the point of Shadow Generations. And even though I do agree that Black Doom's plan is kind of stupid, it makes a lot more sense when you understand how the Hive Mind works, which I explained earlier in the video. Because with Black Doom being able to give singles to Shadow, creating an anger state for Shadow, he's more likely to go back to a point where he was attempting to destroy the world. This also shows that Black Doom was paying attention to the points where Shadow was his angriest. He was his angriest when he wanted to destroy the world. He started off that track of being angry by sliding down, trying to get away from the cops after stealing one of the masterful Chaos Emeralds. Met Maria in White Space. The only reason why Black Doom lost this in the first place is specifically because Maria was there. If Maria had not came back to life in the generational platform known as White Space, Shadow would have lost. Shadow was giving into his anger until Maria intervened and created a state where Shadow lost his ability to be angry in that moment. And by the end of Shadow Generations, he has the immediate ability to completely move on, specifically because he met Maria in White Space and he was able to say his final goodbye. And even though he would like to keep them around, he finally let go and he finally let them die in his heart. Well, not in his heart completely, but they let him die in his brain, so now he gets less angry when he thinks about what he's lost. So I don't think that it would actually work to bring the Doom powers back, because the reason why Black Doom gave them to him in the first place is gone. He no longer feels that direct anger from actually having Maria die, because he's finally made amends with that. So Black Doom's energy and powers coming back immediately destroys the character arc Shadow went on in Shadow Generations, or if it doesn't do that, it will make Black Doom very stupid. So as a lore perspective and a story perspective for Shadow, both Black Doom and Shadow have no reason to get back the Doom powers or to have, Black Doom give it to him. It would ruin both their characters, it would ruin the story, and in any aspect you bring them back that doesn't ruin the story, it makes Black Doom the most incompetent villain ever. Unless we want to write a story where Black Doom believes that even after the event of Shadow Generations, Shadow still believes that Maria is like a person who needs to come back to life, which he doesn't believe anymore. So now let's get to the gameplay. The thing that the Shadow Generations gameplay did for us is make it different from Sonic while also making it better than Sonic. What I mean by this is that you want Sonic characters to be different enough for Sonic to give you a reason to play them, but you don't want them to be too different to the point where you have to create a whole new level design in order to implement that character. We want you to add on to the level design of a Sonic level, not to create another level by itself. While that would be nice, usually you want them to put in as little effort as possible so you get games faster and you get more lore and you get more story. And that's what makes Sonic cool, the lore and the story and his attitude. I feel like the Doom Wings, the Doom Surf, and the Doom Morph all belong in games. They should be a permanent part of Shadow's moveset. I don't think he should appear in another game without it. Even though that might ruin the story, I think I might just be okay with that in this case, because it genuinely feels like I'm playing Sonic Boom, but they actually did Sonic Boom well, where they have these little zipline things. I know I'm not going to show those on the screen. They're really cool. But that's all I have to say about it, because all it really does in Shadow Generations is creates new gameplay opportunities, which I really like and care about. But I'm not sure if they're ever going to expand on it, and I would really like them to, but depending on how they treat the story going forward, we may never get that chance. So anyway, have a great day. Like, subscribe, comment, and hype the video. I will see you later. Bye.